Hi, my name is Theodore Cottingham, a simple, ordinary man in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I thank you for the privilege of sharing with you this day what's going on with me, in me, through me, coming now. The great revelation that you are the Christ. Not the Christian ceremony of, or that definition, or that rigmarole in quagmiring you, but a Christ, a leader, a Christ, a common person, a woman, a man, but a great revelation is about to be had by all. And I make one. Had one today. It was like I thought, this is a seismic revelation. And I thought, seismic revelation. So I asked Chat to define. And it says, a seismic revelation can be defined as groundbreaking and transformative insight or realization that fundamentally shifts one's understanding, perspective, or direction. A seismic revelation is likened unto a seismic event in geology where the earth shakes and reshapes itself, symbolizing a profound internal or external upheaval that redefines previously held beliefs or norms. It even gave me key characteristics. 1, foundational disruption. It disrupts established paradigms or deeply rooted beliefs, paving the way for new understanding. 2, transformative power. It catalyzes significant change, both personally and collectively. 3, broad impact. Its effects ripple through multiple layers of thought, behavior, and community, much like aftershocks. 4, clarity and awareness. Seismic revelation brings sudden clarity, revealing truths that were previously hidden or misunderstood. And last, 5, irreversibility. Wow. Seismic revelation, once experienced, the revelation cannot be unlearned or ignored, permanently altering one's outlook. This term could apply to personal epiphanies, collective awakenings, pivotal moments in history, science, spirituality, philosophy, where the ground of understanding shifts dramatically. So I thought I would just share that definition with you because this morning I had one, a seismic revelation. And I realize it's been coming for weeks. It's been bubbling up, formulating, connecting in me somehow the consciousness of that completes it with this epiphany, this revelation, that makes a complete neural pathway that connects and boom! Revelation, understanding, sight, change, So what is this seismic revelation that I've had this morning? That I cannot create the school that I lead. You create it. I have taught. I have given you the keys. And now it's up to you what you do with them. I have brought forth the Meonics Covenant. 2,400 lessons for you to explore, to search, to enter the consciousness of, that was created for you to create your consciousness now. To create your journey, your path, your seismic revelations, so that your revelation, your learning, your creation, your creatability, your power, sustenance, synergy comes through you. So you're no longer looking to me or another woman or man, nor a Bible, nor any other book, nor any other speaker. For the next step. The next step in your life is today, what are you going to do with it? This knowledge, this beginning that's offered you. To create a new beginning, in your life too. I have given you my path. I have walked it many times, very circuitously, wandering around. Wandering in the desert. Affected so greatly by voices around me. People meaningful to me. People who cared or didn't care. Trying to make sense of it all, trying to put it together, you see. Wandering. And I cried many a time. But I've described many of those trials and much of my path in recent months. I have given you me. I give you me, and what you do now with it, with the message, with my consciousness, with the words, is up to you. I've invited, I've asked, implored, admonished, many times over these years, begged. There are many recordings you can find on YouTube where I got down on one knee to honor you, to pray to you, to all sorts of things at different times. And I have started a school, tried to start a school, sometimes had a few students, several times over these 21 years that I've channeled. But a seismic revelation today, I cannot create the school you go through. Oh, I'm creating a school, all right. I created one. I've gone through one. I created the one that I went through and that I'm still in. But you see, there's a cataclysmic difference here that needs to be explained, that needs to be grasped by you, that I hope you can grasp. This is a path to be conquered, not, or is it a path through your wilderness where you are coming out of the slavery to all that you've been taught in the past, all that you've thought in the past? Preparing for something beyond what the imagination can assume, presume, project. This is the real you coming forth in beauty, light, and peace. This is one of my pictures I've shown many times. The radiant splendor of you coming forth. No longer beguiled by her husband, a religion, a consciousness, a book, a thought process. Radiant splendor. I like that term. So many times, you see, I have felt responsibility. I have felt a great responsibility. And I'm turning down the heat here. And I can't carry the load. But it's not that I'm supposed to carry the load. My burden is light. I love it. However you want to interpret that, my burden is light. Light energy, light and weight. Both and, whatever. I've given you the keys. And I've taught. I started writing the first person words of God. Uneditingly. And you can search them. They're what I call the Meonics Covenant. I have given you my love, my life, my path. I have brought forth a set of words. I have brought forth a body of material, a body of knowledge. A body of knowledge that you can enter to begin creating your school that I call my school, not again, or is it our school, or is it a school of creation? You see, this is not like anybody else can describe for you, not really completely. I've tried so many times. Laying in bed last night, 3, 4 a.m., dealing with the issue. How do I convey this? How do I convey? Not the revelation I'm talking about, but the immensity of the material, the vastness of the opportunity. How do I convey the unlimited infinite to a mortal immersed in religion and protocols of present culture? laboring in my mind about that for well over an hour this morning, laying in bed. But then this morning with my coffee, seismic revelation. I love the term, and that's why I read you the definition of it earlier in this broadcast. What a word, broadcast. I've mentioned several times in recent weeks that things were changing. And the model is changing. The model of the school is changing. The model of truth is changing. Or where do you get your truth? What is truth? I suggest to you, truth, defined, if you will, by unconditional love, is a flow. It's not constant. You see, if you follow the white rabbit, the trail never ends. If you take the red pill, when you begin to learn about the infinite, you never want to come back to the finite. And you, my friend, are infinite. And you can learn from the infinite through the infinite. I mean, the real you. If you no longer part with it or throw it away or throw it at someone else's feet or an idea, philosophy, that you're separate from infinite wisdom, perfect truth, everlasting love, the unconditional kind. So I've given you my life and my words. See me, my words. Feel my consciousness. Sustain my love. In you, do you want my love? Will you be my love? Will you love every person? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry? Every Scooby-Doo? Every Fred Flintstone walking around yelling, Wilma? Will you change the earth? I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to change the earth. I'm asking you to change your world. I'm asking you, inviting you to change you by recreating you. And I have a model. I have a pattern. And I have followed that path. And I've written about it. Jesus the Pattern. I wrote this book. Volume 1 I wrote in, I think, 2006. 2 years later, I wrote Volume 2. And there's 7. No, I think there's 5 sections, 5 volumes in this book, 300 pages. So you have much to help you on your path. And if you're going to be in this school, you create a school. You create a school in the school to be a part of the school, to go through this school, to open up your school, to school yourself within. Because it is with channeling, not by great effort, but by surrender, that we learn to learn. From another source. The source of unconditional love. And I have differentiated that for you for months now. And I taught God is not love. I've taught God is not God. How can I say such a statement? And I've explained it. God is not God. God is not always God. God is not who you think it is. What is God? What is the Lord God? Why are there so many names for God? Why are the two separate creations in the Bible? Why are so many people so blind? Why do so many people want to just believe? Believe, 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 believe. Believe right into the casket. You believe it's appointed unto you once to die and then the judgment. I guess that's what you're going to create for you. But Jesus said, if you believe in me, you will never die. It's not that I want to live on this mortal earth in this mortal body forever by any stretch of the imagination. But yet there's so much more to the story if you're willing to assemble it. If you're willing to be the story. You see, the story is not about Jesus apart from you. The story is about you walking through that path. Learning who you are. Learning your power. Learning how to learn from your Father. Learning how to learn from the Word. The Bible? No, the living Word that must come through you for you to experience the livingness, the power of creation itself, creating a new you. This is what this school is about. So I'm shifting. I'm shifting significantly. I've given you the keys. And I've invited you in. I've invited you to explore. I've invited you to have the greatest adventure of your life that never ends. Because unconditional love is never stagnant. And my friend, it is not jealous. All those Bible verses about a jealous God, the wrath of God, fearful to fall into the hands of the living God. That's not the God of unconditional love. That's the God of control. So God is not God. There's just more to the story. Everlasting, eternal love. The new, eternal, everlasting, new covenant? My gosh, what is that? I've described it in hundreds of video teachings over the years. It's an operation. The operation of the new covenant is process. It's a process where the living word comes through you to teach you who you are. No longer taught, no longer limited by the teachings of man or religion. You see, you have to come out of the slavery to religion and religious thought. If you come through this school, you're giving up your life. Your life of what? Your life of lack. Your life of peace. Your lack of healing. Your lack of power. If you just want to remain powerless and enjoy the passive comforts of this world, my friend, you can do it and you choose. But I go your way, not again, for I have found mine. I have found my way through my words, and I have channeled them for you to learn, to channel, to come through your words, so you are creating database one for you. The Meonics covenant? You may call it something else. You may call it the covenant of Betty Sue, the Oscar covenant, the Ralph covenant. But you come through something. The fiery furnace. The lion's den. Why do you think that story was given? Why do you think that story still exists? I've said this over and over. You see, it doesn't matter if that story happened back yonder or not. It really doesn't matter. The power is in the story and how you perceive the story. What is your perception of the story? And are you willing to make the leap, the connection, that that story is about you? This is what you go through. You have an example. You've been given a precedent not to follow, but to become in your shoes the Christ that's you, my friend. Not the Christian one, not with all of their indoctrination rules and authority-laden hierarchy and robes and rings and haves and have-nots and fivefold ministry definitions and rigmarole. No, I'm talking about freedom, where you learn to teach you. If you are in this school, you learn to teach you. You actually learn to write courses, but you're not alone. That which I am is in you. That which I am is you. That which I am is all of us together. And now we are no more fighting. We're no more competing for a grade. We're no more opting for deliverance. We're no longer dependent upon a miracle. We begin to surrender to be who we actually are. And we begin to see our light. We begin to feel our light. We begin to love each other and love each other's love and begin to love love. Not just a set of ideas that create an image of love being separate called God. So there's more to the story. You have access to the Meonics Covenant through my website, theodorcottingham.com. You can search it. You can search it 24 hours a day. And one day it shall be printed and in printed form. So you may be able to hold it in your hand. And go to chapter and verse? No. Go to different volumes and different lessons in Database 1. For my friend, this is just the beginning. How many databases have I channeled? Shall I say, or can you handle it? If I tell you there's more than 20? Remember, the mind you were born with, wants to rule you, and it wants to supplant the living word. Your human mind always wants to give you the answer, and it jumps to the nearest conclusion electromagnetically. It wants to rule you, rule your domain, rule your energy, rule your life. And the motive of that energy is simply to keep you in motion, in action, striving, insatiable, always wanting more, insatiable, never being enough, never having enough. That's the mind, the unregenerated mind. But there is a consciousness of the infinite, generous. If you're willing to tap into it, not. Because if you just want to tap into it, to me, the very language itself denotes the creation of your separation from something that you're tapping into so that you have something different than it, and it empowers you to do what you want. No, my friend, you don't tap into this. It's untappable. And those who just want to tap into it stink. They don't understand. Maybe they've never encountered unconditional love. Unconditional love is not jealous. It's not fragile. There's no wrath. There's no record of wrongs. Unconditional love literally bows before you every day of your life, waiting for you to hear, to listen, to commune, to communicate every single day. How do I know this? Not only have I experienced it in shocking experiences and revelation of words, multiple and many times. You can find it in Database 1. You'll be shocked at what you find in Database 1. My words that I've channeled, the first 2,400 lessons that form the basis for this school, that form the basis for a new school, a new system of education, one where you are not limited to the vowels and consonants of your native language or any other language, nor the rules of man. This is a school of leadership, a school of creation. And it doesn't operate like any other school. If you want to be a part of the school, I've given you the keys. I've given you me. Come find me. And when you see the real you, you won't be separate from what Jesus became, the Christ in your shoes. The message of Christ is to be it. What is a Christ? Have you looked it up? Do you know the definition? Oh, you want me to tell you? Damn, do I have to do everything? Do I have to read everything? You dig it out. If you're in this school, you dig it out. You're an explorer. You're an adventurer. I've said so many times, I may be a little help, like training wheels to begin with. But my friend, I'm not interested in distributing training wheels anymore. I feel like this seismic revelation that I had this morning, it just, you see, it's not about me. The school is not about me, it's about you. And I was thinking, what do I want? I just want to be me. And I mentioned back in 1995, I think it was in St. Louis. I've mentioned that story. So I was thinking, the revelation, this is not my job to create a school. I have not been called to create a school like you think, not like I thought, not like I interpreted so many times. You see, if you come into this, you are creating. You are no longer bowing to a system of another. You come into you and you begin looking like you want to, doing what you want to, exploring what you want to, without the words of another person limiting you. Freedom? Oh, I think so. So I thought I just want to be me. I even thought I just want to have fun, but not the fleeting kind, not the momentary. So these were some pictures that I created this morning as I was pondering and all of this was coming through. And I began to realize in the twinkling of an eye, revelation occurs. New neural pathways are not only established, but they are no longer darkened. They are no longer throttled back by axon hillocks. The communication of worlds takes place right here between your ears. And your consciousness is not limited to what's between your ears. Your consciousness is all around you. And when you look up at the stars tonight, you're looking at part of your consciousness. If you'll no longer be fooled by what you see. Or what you feel. Burdened. Got to make the house payment. The car broke down. The kids crying. Been there, haven't you? And taxes. The burden. But my friend, you have the power. And I've said over and 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 over again. There's more to the story, and you are not powerless. You are not powerless. It may seem to you that you have no power, sitting there in that hotel room, that dungeon, that prison, that hospital. But my friend, you are the very power. You are the essence of creation itself. If you're willing to be. If you're willing to see. If you're willing to have a seismic revelation. Seismic revelation. Come into the school. I invite you to this school. I invite you to a school where you create your own school, where you create this school and your school and this school at the same time, both and at the same time simultaneously? I'm asking you to see another paradigm of power, no longer limited by fools that want to teach you line by line, precept by precept. They want you to regurgitate, vomit back out on a test, an exam paper, what they think they've taught you. Your consciousness is no longer limited by fools. I've given you the keys. I saw this on my window ledge. I don't know what this key was to. Maybe a mantle clock or something. It was my grandmother's, Leela. I loved her. I love that name. It's old. But anyway, I've given you the keys. I've given you database 1. I've given you the Meonics Covenant. And it's just the first one, my friend. I'm asking you to begin to see how unlimited you are, and not a path to glory to simply admire another and to throw your consciousness away and at the feet of religion, at the feet of somebody in a robe, some preacher, somebody who doesn't even know what the living word is. They've never sat down and written the first person words of unconditional love and wept on the paper to the point where they could hardly read what they have written. Do you see what I'm saying? Lamb of light, you are the light of the world, right? You're the light of the world. And if you believe in me, you'll do the things I do and greater. Wasn't that the message of Jesus? Are you willing to read a book that's hard to read, hard to understand, doesn't use diction and grammar like you want it to? It has more than a 500-word vocabulary? You're not limited to what you see in your mirror. You're not limited to what you've been taught. This is the world of creation, not, but it's the school of creation for you to no longer to be limited to this world, by its molecules, by its understanding. And I lead it. I'm the coach, not the conqueror. I don't walk around with a ruler in my hand to whip your hand if you misbehave. We're not in grammar school. We're not in that paradigm any longer. Seismic revelation time. Please understand. Understand. Grasp what I'm trying to say? You probably can't grasp it. You may in some way, at some level, and yet you may have to listen to this 3 or 4 times, 5 times. Make notes. Write phrases. You see, when you begin to care and be concerned, to no longer carry a burden, when you begin to see the infinite opportunity of the infinite mind, your infinite consciousness, and connect. Connect how? Connect why? Connect in words? A student forum? A discussion group? A Facebook group? A book study group at your library, in your community? Your basement, your attic? The field, not far away? What are you willing to lead? This is a school of leadership. This is the school of leadership like no other. This is the school of Theodore Cottingham, the pattern of Theodore Cottingham, the pattern of Jesus, the pattern of the Christ, the pattern that you walk through to a new life to create yours. So you're no more spinning your wheels, or somebody's jacked up your training wheels so that you have no traction except for them to help you move along. There's a lot of people who may volunteer to help you. They'll put on your training wheels and try to train you. But if you start getting much traction, they'll change the angle. They'll change this, they'll change that, because they want to have influence over you. Control is a very insidious thing. It's all magnetic. It's all about the magnetic force. Strong force, weak force. Electro weak, electro mighty. There's more to the story. I never dreamed, as I began writing the first person words of God, that I would channel things dealing with the molecule, spin, organelles, quarks, entanglement, neurons. But my friends, see, if you don't limit God, not the God you serve, if you're serving God and God requires you to serve it, you're serving the wrong God. When unconditional love begins to commune with you, the door is wide open to the infinite. And you begin to see your consciousness as infinite because you begin to enter it. So that the Holy of Holies is no longer held by you in remembrance of something else or somebody's description. There's more to the story. And I'm asking you to create it. You come, my school website. My website is my name, TheodoreCottingham.com. From there you can connect. You can buy this book. You can buy my artwork. Maybe soon. You can access over 2,000 posts that I've made on my website. You can access 2,000 videos on YouTube on my channel. You can come into more than 2,000 lessons that were channeled to give you the right meaning, the right understanding. Vision, comprehension, connection to the consciousness that knows no sin, had no sin. What is sin? Remember, if you ask for a fish, will he give you a stone? If your God gives you a stone, if you're a God, keeping a record of your wrongs to make sure you obey, you're serving the wrong God. There is no damnation in love because there's no There's no condemnation in unconditional love. None. It doesn't exist in unconditional love. But control, the master, the egoic mind. It's all about control. And it will come to you as an angel of light. You have to know the difference. You have to learn the difference. And as you begin to connect, oh my gosh, several of these pictures I made this morning from a distance may look all jumbled up, and when I enlarge them, oh my gosh, some of the amazing detail of some of these things. But, I don't know where I was. So you see, this is just me. And I'm asking you not to take on a burden. I'm asking you to see the great opportunity for you. Not to walk down the Emmaus Road anymore, or will you? Are you willing to be Enoch, Elisha, Elijah, Isaiah? Are you willing to be the Jesus in your shoes? Are you willing to be the creator? Are you willing to have new life? Will you birth you a new consciousness, a new love, a new consciousness, a new mind, a new heart, not a new soul. The soul revolves around the energetic chakras and all of that mess. It's all about the emotions of your monkey mind, the emotions. Be not controlled about your emotions. There's more to light. There's more to the story. And I've already talked almost an hour. Gosh. I have given you me. I held this up the other day. I was thinking about my life, and I showed you. Sometimes these words appear backward, like mirrored. I have brought forth the Messianic covenant. Why would I use that language? Brought forth. Those 2,400 lessons that you can search online, I brought them forth. Yes, I birthed them. Those words came through my womb. You see, I am no longer limited to being a man. I have a womb. And the womb of that energy, the energy of unconditional love. And I communed to become the consciousness of it. I flowed it. It created me, my new mind, new neural links, remapped, rewired, creating a new consciousness of the infinite, so that I shall walk with joy and no burden again. And increasingly, I will have seismic revelation, and hope you do too, where you realize the paradigm of power is not of somebody in the Bible. It's not just people of old. It's not stories of strong men or members of another race mating with the angels. The race of angels is feminine, and it doesn't reproduce by the semen of man. nor man's words, but it reproduces by the living word. The living word. You are the light of the world, my friend. So I go now. And I hope this day you have some seismic revelation. Wow. Not often I turn the heat up, but I'm turning the heat up. Oh. I'm a common, ordinary guy. But I may do miracles now. Many will. Behold your power. I don't know. Behold the child. Will you come as a little child? Will you behold the Christ in your mirror? The one that you free to be you, not the Christian one, not that containment, not that construct, not those mental ideas, but the freedom to be who you really are. See the cross, child. See you. See you, my friend, prophesied about. See you in the womb of your word. See you beginning to birth your word, to bring it forth, to write it on a yellow tablet, to speak it like this into a little recorder, to share it. See you, my friend. See you becoming the chosen one because you chose, because you choose you. You choose you to no longer isolate. You choose to be the creator you are. Create. It's not about the law of attraction of magnetic. Damn the magnetics. Damn. Oh. Render them powerless against you. People you think have great power, great authority, great control. Remember, unconditional love is inextricable from humility. There's no ego in love, not real love. And there's no fear. There's no record of wrong. There's no jealousy. Did you hear me? I love you and I go now. An hour. I think I'm done. You have my word. You have my words. You have database 1, 2,400 lessons, searchable, online. You have database 1. You have my post. You have these videos. And you have a school to be in if you will create it. The school of one. School of one. School of the mighty many. Why do where did that phrase come from, the school of the mighty many? Well, it in my consciousness or whatever, but it's mentioned so many times in database 1. the mighty many come forth. The mighty many. Oh, I just cut off my little light. This is just sunlight coming in the window. Be not intimidated by your past or your future. Be not intimidated. Let the fear-mongers no longer rule your life. Worry about nothing. Why would I say that phrase? Because I was told it hundreds of times as I channel first-person love. Worry about nothing for any reason. Worry about no headline, no report, no bad news. Worry about nothing. So I say it to you. Because I have become it. I become database one. I am conscious of it. It's conscious of me. Database one is conscious of me. Database one may be conscious of you. See, there's a consciousness that we haven't understood because we thought we were separate from it. We thought all this creation was something outside of us. We thought God was outside. We thought heaven was in the future and the past was gone. But it's nothing like that, my friend. There's just more to the story. And the beauty of Revelation the beauty of Revelation is in the twinkling of an eye. A whole set of energy, not just magnetic protons, neutrons, electrons, but a communication, a download, and connections are made. And all of a sudden, you're footloose and fancy-free. Well, I go now. You can contact me if you like. I'm not in the grave. Don't plan to go there. Hope you don't either. I lead. I'm a leader. I didn't choose to lead. I chose to love. And love says, please lead. Teach my people to pick up their pen and write the first person words of love. To love each other, to value your word, to love each other, to care about what's going on in the world, to think global, pray global, live global, understand your lack of resources is very temporary. Not because you have something to tap into, but you begin to have the seismic revelation of what you become in your shoes. The Christ, redefining Christ, redefining your love, your infinite power, your creativity to do all the things that Jesus did and more. Okay, I go now. And I pray to you to have fun this day. I didn't plan this, but That's a picture I took of me holding one of my pictures I've had printed. So I plan to offer them to you. If you want one of these, let me know. I don't know. I don't know. There's just more. There's so much more to this school. I could say so much more, but I don't know if you could bear it. I pray that you see you, the Christ story in you, and you're no longer looking to another to come. You become the healer, the Messiah, the soon-coming King, the chosen child, because you choose you to be it. I'll end with this little story. You know, a lot of people value the Bible, story of Jesus, story of the disciples. So of the 12 disciples, supposedly 3 were closer to Jesus. Peter, James, John, I think. Why were they closer than the other 9? Peter, James, and John, so 3. But of the 3 who were closer to Jesus, 1 was the closest of all. Why? I heard this from Randy Hurst. An executive with the Assembly of God denomination years and years ago. He's a true master communicator. Randy told this story, and I've thought of it a lot of times. And I'll wind up with this. So Jesus chose the 12. But 3 were closer, and 1 was closer yet. Why? Because Jesus chose them to be? No. Because they chose themselves. The 3 that were closer, they chose to be closer. They initiated. They did something the other 9 didn't do. And yet one of the 3 went even further. To commune. To commune. Communicate, to commune. To share the living presence of. With intimacy. In an intimate way, my friend. Not physically intimate. Don't be a fool. Intimacy. Intimacy of the infinite. That intimacy, you see, is there before you this day. From Jesus, from God, from the Creator, source, from unconditional love. And whether you're part of the 12 or not, you choose. Whether you're part of the 3, you choose. And if you're the most beloved disciple of all, because you choose. It's your choice this day. And I pray that's a seismic revelation to you that you never let go of, because it's time to lead. It's up to you. It's time for you to create. It's time for you to channel the first person words of unconditional love and no longer be led by the words of man. You're really not finite. You're really not subject to the laws, the culture, the protocols of religion or your culture. Because what I see in you is not fabricated by anybody else. What I see the real you as may not even have flesh on. I love you. I go now. Have a good day. Great day. Blessed day? No. Have a creative day. Create. Allow some seismic revelation into your life with a new adventure and the exploration. Becoming, my friend, the chosen you. Choose you. TheodoreCottingham.com. Theodore Eureka at gmail.com. I love you. I love you. Thank you for the privilege of sharing with you this day, this way. I thank you. I honor you. Good day.